Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for having a look. If it's your first time viewing the channel and having a look at our videos, today's video is about painting the brick that is on the buildings for the 1 to 285 scale buildings, or the 6mm wargaming buildings. And because I've painted them grey and I want a grey mortar look inside the bricks, we're going to dry brush over the model and try and highlight the bricks so we have red bricks. So I've started one off camera and quickly bring it in just to have a look, and that's sort of the look we're going for on this building. So we'll start doing that process today, get some colour on them. And for the brick colour, I'm using redstone, and any of those sort of red core colours can be used. So just put a little bit on the palette, and I'll just zoom out. So there's a little bit there on the palette, and then I'm just using an old brush, not an actual hobby brush, just so it's a bit soft, and I can sort of get a little bit of paint on the end. But I'll just put the brush into that paint, and then I just brush a bit of that colour out. So I think I've just got a little bit on the end of the brush. Pick up the model, I'll zoom back in, and then what I'll do is just start working on a diagonal. And I'll grab a little bit more paint, brush a fair bit of it out, come back to the model, and there you can see it's just starting to pick up some of that paint. And I'm not worried about paint on any other parts of the building. That's fine, we can paint over most of that, or all of that after. So here I'm just concerned with getting our bricks red. And keeping a bit of a mortar colour in between those bricks. So I'll just work my way around the building, and I'll do this step first because I want to paint all this sort of corners different, the window frames different, the windows and stuff. So, and using this technique, it doesn't matter where the paint goes to start with, as long as we get our bricks looking red. So that's starting to give our bricks a good colour. So that's what we were, and that's where we are now. So a little bit more red, a little bit more, sorry, redstone. And I'll just try and go over it a few times, really darken up those bricks a bit. that's given us that good bit of colour. And once I've finished with the dry brushing, you can sort of see the two buildings there. So it's slightly different with their colour, but both still quite good. If I finish with that brush, I'll rinse it out in a little bit of water. Just brush any colour out of it, even though it was just in the end. And then with the buildings, once I've sort of got to this stage, then I want to start painting these windows. So here I painted a few, and I don't worry about the window frames because I'll paint the blue in first, so the deepest area first. And for painting them, I'm using sparkling blue, but any dark colour or any colour you really want to use. If you want them light windows, lighter colour windows, or you want them black, a lot of people paint them black. So I just put a little bit on the tray, and then I'll grab a 5-0 brush, so quite fine, and I'll just go along and start trying to fill in those windows. I'm not too worried about the window frames because we'll come back to them, but I'm just trying to give the buildings a bit of colour. And of course you could do some black if you want to make it look like there's no lights on or something, or you could do them a couple different colours. So just initially get a bit in there, and then I might try and get a little bit more in there later on, go over them again. So give them all that little bit of colour. If you're unsure about colours, GHQ catalogue provides painted models on their website and in their catalogue, so you can have a look there for a bit of a reference if there's something you prefer. You can see they've painted those ones there already off camera, so I'll go around and I'll paint the windows. Not worried about the frames, just to get a little bit of colour on them, and then I'll quickly rinse out that brush and quickly have a look. We should have enough time now. Just we'll put them aside, and the other buildings we were doing were the bamboo huts. So last video for the GHQ stuff, we painted the one on the left, and the two colours we used here, which are burnt orange for the sides and the brown sand for the roof. So I thought we've got that one done. We'll quickly switch over to this one. And I thought for the bamboo sides on the walls, we could use khaki just to have a look at the difference in, say, this one that had that more yellowy colour. So I'll get a little bit of khaki on the palette. And once I've got that on there, I'll just do the same thing that we did before, just brush it out a fair bit and pick up the model, and I'll just go across, and we'll have a look at the difference between the two, like the khaki and that burnt orange. So there you can see that's that khaki look, and this one's that burnt orange look. So there's two sort of styles there. And then I thought, instead of using that brown sand like we did with that one, I'll just leave them there, we could grab out USA Tan Earth. You can't actually quite read it, but it's Tan Earth. And I'll use the same technique. I'll squeeze a little bit out on the palette. I'll just put that one there, the khaki there as well, so we can sort of see them. And that's the same thing, same technique, a little bit on the brush and just brushing it across. And that's just giving that two different styles of painting for those little huts. Depends what sort of colour you like. You know, you can use any colour you want or how you want to mix it up. So yeah, options there. And that's, I'll put those colours aside and bring in those other buildings. And next video we'll start getting buildings painted, the frames and the corners of these buildings, and we'll finish off these huts. So thanks for watching, thanks for checking out the video, and we'll see you on the next video. Thanks.